Hey, what's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI, the car shipping business channel. It's Friday, noon, Central Time. That means Ty is live in the transport parking lot. This is Cars on the Move. Please do jump in, and we're going to get right to it. Do me a favor before we do. Please leave a like. You can share this link. It's right below. Click copy. Grab the link, text it, email it, share it. We're live for 30 minutes. What we're doing is we're talking about growing your business. And we have a special guest today where Michelle of Ship Your Car Now is going to bring the new Shipper Toolkit. This is helpful advice when you're growing a business to think about. Do say hello in the live chat. Denise is here. What's up? Denise, Ty's giving the high five over there. Denise was live yesterday on your stream?
Yeah, on the phone. What was it, K and D or Y and D or somebody, one of those KD, YDs. Yeah, so they're brothers. They don't speak English, and so they've got Denise on the phone. She translated the entire conversation and the video. It's a really cool video because I didn't know them. They got her on the phone. She did the translation. I'm like, Auto Transport Intel. And she says, I know Auto Transport Intel. So, yeah, it was really amazing. And that's the beauty of being in the transport parking lot. It's boots on the ground. It's talking to real life people that do real work. You get to see it, you get to hear it, and you get to hear the different versions of what it takes to move a car. Does that make sense?
Absolutely does. And it's important. Just let's go ahead and station identification here. What we're doing is important. Ty, why? Why is this important?
On multiple levels. One is it's really hard to understand this business. That's why ATI is here, because there's so many different pieces and parts of the business that a lot of guys, and I talk to them all the time. They get, I got a truck, I got a trailer. I want to make money. I want to own my own business. How do I do that? And a lot of the answers are load board and dispatcher, right? So if you have a load board, if you have a dispatcher, you can make money doing. Good. How are you, sir?
Can I help you, sir?
I don't know.
Okay, you here in business with Manheim?
Manheim? I'm not with Manheim.
Dealers. Dealers?
Yeah. Dealers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you have auction access cards as members of the.
We don't went in. We don't go in.
Okay. All right. Well, you're on private property. Notice you're filming on private property. If you're off private property, you can do that out in the public access. Okay, but you can't do that in here. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll go to
Just
camera
park
one
out here.
I'm sorry.
So, we don't know why there is a conflict between going live with a business and industry conversation when we know it is important. Let's go ahead and say hello in the live chat. Hey, what's going on in the live chat? Will Morris is here, the car auction coach. What's going on? And let me pull him out of my ear for a second. Candy is here. Candy at Seaport Services here. Welcome back to ATI. David Tuber's Transportation. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics. You see what's happening live, right? You see this. I'll just show it again here. Ty is getting shut down because we're not allowed to talk about this industry. I guess at a place of work. Now, we are going to respect private rules and regulations, but what exactly are we doing wrong? We're not exactly cool. Let's go live to Ty.
That's what we do.
Okay.
We do all the way feedback from the customers.
I'm not sure what your question is.
How they load, how
Okay.
we can help. That's
Okay.
why.
We're not here to try to tell anybody what to do, except how to do a better job.
I understand that. But if you're on this property here, okay, you have to be conducting immediate business.
All right, we'll let him go. That's okay. We're used to it. Hey, what's up, Sideshow the producer? Thanks so much. We are live. Ty is live in the transport parking lot, and he's going to have to move his camera, I guess, outside the transport parking lot. But what we're still going to do is we're going to go live with Michelle, and she's going to do new Shipper Toolkit. So we're going to do that. And I know that it's tempting to put the camera back on security removing Ty, but I don't want to do that because this is not a gotcha show. We really are trying to do something helpful in the ecosystem and the industry. But apparently there's a question about that, whether this is helpful, whether this is necessary. You can make a video from the cab of your truck if you're picking up or delivering a car, but if you're not picking up or delivering a car, you can't do that. And so, again, Ty is still talking to security, and I'm here talking to you. And I guess what we're going to do is we're going to go live. Let me show you this. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, Ty, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk and show some photos from yesterday. And then when you guys get reset up, we'll bring in Michelle. Okay?
You can bring Michelle. I would just bring Michelle in now. Because it's going to take us a minute to pack it up and get out of here. And...
Okay. All right, let's do that. So we're gonna go to Michelle. We're gonna go to Michelle. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So everyone, thanks so much for jumping in the live chat. It's interesting stuff. And you're seeing it live. I mean, we're really live right now, but this is good. We're the live on the move station. All right, here we go. Michelle, do me a favor, Michelle. Get ready because here you come on to the live Zoom meeting with Jay and Ty on Cars on the Move, new Shipper Toolkit. I didn't even have the drum roll ready. Too busy. Here we go. Let's bring in Michelle. Into the Zoom room live. You still with us? Is this craziness or what? This is a Friday. This is what happens. Going live is not the easiest thing. All right, so let's see here. Michelle, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can see you and hear you, and I'm sitting over here just taken aback from all the times Ty has been live at these auctions to now getting some pushback for no apparent reason. So it's just how we live, I guess, these days, right, Ty?
I have no comment at this time.
Yeah. All right, Ty. Yeah, we're gonna
I can feel that.
Yeah, we'll come back to Ty. So Michelle, what are we doing today?
So today what we're going to do is you and I were talking about, we were having a chat and we're talking about all of the private citizens, all the private sector out there that moves cars. We call them POVs, privately owned vehicles. And a lot of times these individuals, they don't know where to go. They don't know where to turn to. They don't know the questions to ask. They don't know. And as Ty said in his segment, he says there's lots of aspects to this business, and he's 100% right. In the automotive transportation as well. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give the folks that are watching this now and down the road, hopefully they'll find this channel and they'll find it useful, the information to help them move a car, whether they're moving one for the first time, the second time, maybe it's the third time and they're like, wow, I never thought to ask these questions, or I didn't know where to turn to. I'm hoping to give some of my knowledge and experience to those folks and help them create a toolkit of information that's going to make them successful.
All right, well, cool. So, all right, so you've got, please show that first slide because I like how we put together, you know, kind of we have a marketing angle on this is the new Shipper Toolkit. Nice, Michelle. That looks awesome.
Looks a little bit like my own personal toolbox myself, if I don't say so.
Great. Let's take a look inside.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm going to give you guys some tips and some tricks and some questions to ask when you're moving a car. So let's jump right into it. As you can see, we're going to open our toolbox up and we are going to make sure that when you are looking for a transport company, whether it's a broker or an owner operator, there's a couple of questions that you really want to dive into and make sure that you ask. We're going to start with what's the price? Is the price that they're quoting you all inclusive? Does it include fuel, surcharges, credit card fees? You know, sometimes that price may not be the full price, so make sure you ask that question, then you will get your answer. Another one, when do you have to pay them? Do you pay them when you actually book the order? Do you pay them when the car's picked up or when the car's delivered? Little side note, I always recommend to people to be very careful of paying the drivers directly. And that's because once your car is delivered and they have their money, if there's a problem, you may have a hard time finding them again. So I, as a broker, always recommend using a broker, because most of us, at least we pay the drivers after they deliver, after we have the inspection report, and after we know that you're happy they get their money, so that they can't just run and hide. And I'm not saying all drivers do, but as we all know, it can happen no matter who you are. When you get the price from the individual, make sure that you discuss with them the pickup and delivery ETAs. Those will vary across the country, so make sure they're very clear. Get something in writing if you can, because you don't want to turn around and your car's been sitting there for 2 weeks and you were told it'd be picked up in 7 days. So make sure you have those discussions with whomever you're going to be looking at and interviewing. And I say interviewing because this is your opportunity to interview companies and see which one works best for your needs. Does this company or carrier driver, do they require a deposit? That's an important one. If they do, what's their cancel? If you do cancel, are you refunded? That's important to find out. We here at Ship Your Car Now, we don't require a deposit, and a lot of brokers do not. So I highly recommend finding one that doesn't, just in the event that you decide to cancel or your shipment doesn't work out, you're not trying to chase your money down. Who will be your point of contact from start to finish? This is another good question to ask. Is it the person on the phone booking the order? Do you have a private account manager that's going to be there from you from the start to the finish in case you have any questions? Again, don't want to be chasing down these people to get answers. It's so frustrating, and we all know that. Does that person take calls after hours and weekends? See this face? I do. So make sure that you have somebody that you're going to be able to get in contact with. Your busy schedule may not allow you to take calls during the day. You might want to get an update on the weekend. Make sure you find someone that's going to take that call, and you can get in touch with them and find out where your car is. What is their cancellation policy? That's a big one. Find out if something falls through, if you decide not to ship it, if you're not happy with what's happening. What's their cancellation policy? Can you walk away? What are you going to be charged, if anything? Again, get all this stuff in writing. And what happens to your car if there's damage? So here's the thing. A lot of people don't like to talk about that big D word, damage, but it happens, guys. And the one thing you need to be very clear about when you hire someone is what happens if there is damage. What's their process? Find that out. That's a huge one. Now, a few extra little things when you're working with owner-operators directly. Those are not your brokers. Those are the people that actually own the trucks and are driving them. You're going to want to confirm that their DOT license is active, not suspended. And you're probably thinking, well, how do I do that? Well, I'm about to tell you. But that's important. If they don't have an active DOT license, they should not be on the road. Then confirm that their license is active and how much coverage do they have. You want to make sure for the size of their trailer that if something happens to your car, they have enough insurance to cover any of those damages that may occur. So you can always request a copy. A lot of people think that they can't get this information, but you have a right to get that. So here's a little link to the DOT site where you can actually go in and you can actually look up a carrier's information. You're going to come to the site. This is what's going to pop up. You're going to put their MC number. That is a public number, so make sure to ask for that. That's going to bring up a opportunity to get a report, and you can see you're going to click this little HTML. That's going to bring up some great information. It brings up the business address, the name of the company, their MC number, addresses, and right down here under authority type common, you're going to see it says active. That's a good company. Is their application pending? If it's not, thumbs up, they're active. You're also going to see information down here regarding their insurance. So that's important. You're also going to be able to go in and find out if the carrier's ever had rejected insurance, had their authority suspended. This is great information. You are putting your car, this thing that you love, in the hands of somebody else. So make sure that you are informed. So I'm going to give you a little advice. I'm a mom, and I'm going to give you some advice that your mama would give you. Referrals are always the way to go, folks. If you can phone a friend or call your local dealership, they probably know somebody they've worked with that if they've had a great experience with. The dealership down the street, guess what? You see those cars coming and going all the time. They have great referrals for you. So reach out, ask them if they can refer somebody. Avoid getting a quote online. Okay, so honestly, this is really bad. Don't put your information online because you will get blasted. I can't tell you how many private car owners put their information online and they get hundreds of emails and calls. It doesn't stop. So please don't do that. And you will get what you pay for. Make sure that you don't always go with the lowest rate. A lot of times they will hook you with a great low rate and they will overpromise on unrealistic pickup and delivery expectations. So again, you get what you pay for. So everybody stop and make sure you do your homework before you decide on what company you want to go with. So you're ready to move. So what's next? Now you're going to choose open or enclosed trailers. A lot of people don't know that we have the option of both. When it comes to them, when is the extra cost, worth it? This is an open carrier, folks. You can see that your cars are stacked, they're off the ground, they're encased in steel. This is a really safe way to send your cars, most economical. And then we have our enclosed trailers. This is one of my favorites, by the way. This is for you if you have a collector's car, if you have a brand new car that's more on the expensive side that you want to keep contained. During winter months, this is a great way to go. And sometimes the extra money is 100% worth it. It's not always super expensive to put your car inside a trailer. Keep it safe, keep it unexposed from the elements, and keep it off of the road from road debris. But again, I also highlight that open carriers are just as good in a lot of situations. So pickup and delivery expectations. Make sure that you get with that company and get those pickup and delivery expectations. And when I also say expectations, I say, what control do you guys have? So here's the thing. You want to make sure that when you are waiting for your car, you're not obligated to take that car at 9 o'clock at night when it's dark out and you can't do a thorough inspection of it. You do have control. So remember that. You can work with your driver to get your cars when you can actually do a very good inspection on that. We're going to touch on that. What if they can't come to your house? Well, a lot of times where we live, drivers, these big carriers, they can't make it into your area. That is very common. So don't get scared. Just make sure that you are in touch with the driver. Pick a location that is very safe and very doable for both of you. And that's where you can meet. And a lot of times it's a big box store or it's a parking lot or a church or something. So make sure you understand that you do have control over that and that you want to keep yourself safe as well. Payment options, I think we walked through that. You're going to want to make sure that you review that with the company. And here's a big one, guys, personal property. I get asked all the time, what can I put in the car? This is a no-no. You see how it's stacked to the top? We can't do that. We can only put up to 100 pounds of personal property in any vehicle. The car cannot be stacked to the roof. You must leave area in that car for that driver to safely unload, load, unload, and get in and out of your vehicle. That's a no-no. This is more of what you want to do. Also the advice I give, keep your personal property below window level so that when they're at their truck stops, nobody's going to see it. Do not put expensive stuff in there because guess what? It's not covered under a driver's insurance. Personal property is excluded, so keep that in mind. Insurance, this is also a good one. A lot of people want to know what's covered and what's not. That is covered. If a driver has an accident on the road, if there's a problem, that's a very extreme example, I know, but hey, that is covered. They have insurance that will cover these situations. This is not covered. So make sure this is actually a stone chip on a windshield. Make sure that you keep insurance on your car to cover things like this. Drivers are not responsible for standard road debris on an open carrier. They go through a construction area and they hit debris and paint chips your car. That's not their fault. Drivers are only responsible for driver negligence in situations like you see here. Okay, so it's inspection time. What do? Make sure, this is very important. An inspection is your opportunity to review your car. Take time. Don't be pressured and rushed to get it done. Take time, walk around the vehicle. When you rent a car, you have to walk around the vehicle and you have to look at it, and they make you sign off on what you see and what you don't. It's the same thing when you get your car. Take the time, walk around it, make sure it's well lit, noting any issues that you think may be a problem, and get a copy, guys. Get a copy. That means everybody has one of these. See this? Everyone has one. It's a smartphone. If you can't get a hard copy, take a picture. That is your piece of documentation, and to make sure that if anything's wrong, that you have that. And the driver's the same way. They want you to do the walk around. They want you to release them from any damages that you might decide 3 days later all of a sudden showed up. Handling claims. This is a tricky one. When you work with a broker, if there is a claim, they should be handling everything. When we handle claims here, we have a claims department, so you don't have to worry about that. You do not want to be chasing down carriers or drivers and dealing with insurance companies. That is something that can be very time consuming. But if you work with a good company, they're going to take care of all that for you. They will handle it. So basically, you've reached the finish line. So what's next? You got your car, you're happy. Guess what? Pick the phone up. Thank the person that was there with you from the start to finish. And you know what? Take that car for a drive, guys. You waited long enough. You paid the money to get it to you. Go enjoy it. So my name's Michelle. I am with Team Hutchinson over at Ship Your Car Now, and I will open the floor to any questions.
Wow, Michelle, that was really, that was an awesome presentation.
Thank you. I hope I wasn't, I do hope I provided information that is helpful, you know, not only to people shipping their car, but to also those that, you know, the carriers, because we have to look out for them too.
Well, and I tell you, I was thinking about that too. One of the things I was thinking about was shipper education. Okay, you just gave, I mean, the nuts and bolts of shipper education in what, 15 minutes?
I hope so.
Okay, ish. Okay, yeah, no, it was amazing. My point is, that has to happen every time you get a new customer. This is why. I mean, if you're a carrier and you're doing everything yourself and you're growing your business and you're getting new leads and you've got to give shipper education, how do you do it while doing everything else? I actually don't know the answer.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I've developed over the years is I have when I send a quote out, with every quote is that information in a email. So I have every piece that I just gave you in an email format that talks about insurance. It talks about pickup and delivery expectations. It talks about next steps. It talks about the fact that I'm your go-to, or my assistant Alex will be there to hold your hand through everything. So yeah, I have learned over the years, it's a simple email, send it out. Some people read it, some don't, but it's packed full of information.
Well, and here's the thing, and I think I'm getting at this too, is that to seal the contract, to get the customer, because there's a lot of people out there, right? There's a lot of companies vying for the same business. To get that contract, because it is a vehicle, you still probably need to talk at some point, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm always available, and the first thing I do is I do make a phone call. Introduce myself. I find out what their needs are. That's the hugest thing. You know, they think I just got to move a car from here to here. Well, what kind of car does it run? You know, where's it picking up and dropping from? And then while I'm talking to them, I run through some of these little tidbits, and then I always ask if they have any questions. I leave that open for them. At that point, if they don't, I send out that email, and even if I have touched on those pieces, I need to hammer it home and put it in that email. So I agree. Phone call, email, follow up.
You also made a lot of distinct, interesting points. I mean, you've got price, when are you going to pay, get your ETA, your expectations, talk, who's your contact, are you paying a deposit, what's it take to cancel, let's talk about damage, get the carrier's information. I mean, there's so many bullets. That was an awesome presentation.
Thanks. You know, I think a lot of times our private owners, they get on the phones or they get a call from a broker or a carrier, and it's like, rush, 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 book the deal, get them off the phone. And I want people to understand that you have the right to interview a company. You have the right to slow them down and ask these questions. It's so important. And if that company isn't willing to take 5 minutes on the phone with you, well, probably not the right company for you.
And I'm going to add this too because we got in the live chat, and then I'm going to go to Ty and Hendrik. But there are carriers talking about damage to vehicles that they got charged for. This seems to be, right, this is an interesting moment. Damage.
Yeah,
Once again, damage. What do we do here?
So, my job as a broker, once that car's delivered, I have to step into a role that is almost a negotiator between a customer and a carrier, right, or a driver. There are some unfair times when drivers are charged for damage. I have seen it, but there's also times where the damage has happened and the drivers, don't want to, or the carriers don't want to step up and take responsibility. So you almost have to, now luckily Ship Your Car Now, we have a claims department. So they are very thorough. They look at the BOLs, they look at the photographs, and I'm going to give this advice to every carrier out there. I can't stress this enough. Mark that BOL. I don't care if it's a little tiny ding. You gotta step up, guys. You gotta get to the pickup location and mark that BOL and get a signature. And when you drop it off, do the same thing. Make sure they inspect the car. I've had customers that 3 days later will tell me there's damage on a car because guess what? They did it. And that BOL saved that carrier. Take pictures and get your paperwork in order, guys. It is a CYA and nobody should be able to charge you for something you didn't do if you are doing all the right steps to cover your booty, okay? That is so important.
Here's a question. So what happens with the rock that chips the windshield? And, I mean, that's, right, that goes in the act of God category or whatever. And the driver gets charged for this. I mean, do you have any input, anything to add there? I mean, I don't know if we're
yeah, absolutely. I straight up tell people, make sure you have insurance on your car, including windshield damage, because most driver insurances don't cover windshield damage. I tell them, look, if a bird flies in the cage and smashes your windshield, it's not covered. If you go through construction and a rock comes up and it dings the side of the car, it's not covered. That is considered standard road debris by an insurance company. And carriers, make sure you read your insurance information. I have learned over the years, a rock chip, now some carriers might choose to pay it because the customer's worth it. But in my understanding is there is no liability there to a driver for a rock chip on the windshield or on the car on an open carrier. So these are certain situations that, make sure you know what your insurance covers and doesn't.
And that's why I put in the live chat. I mean, this gets into the dispatch contract. Every contract is different. Ty and Hendrik, how you guys doing?
Good. Let me see. I got the mute on, I think. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, that's great information, Michelle. Thank you so much. And one of the things that I always used to tell people up front was I said, if you're worried about a rock chip or a window chip, I can offer you my enclosed price, and that usually fixes it real quick.
I agree. Or here's the thing.
Do enclosed.
Yeah. Here's the phone number to Safelite. They'll come out. We don't usually see a chip that big, but it happens.
No, but that's really good information, and we appreciate you so much coming and joining us and telling us all this stuff. And I think we're going to see you soon.
So yeah, let's talk about what's next. I'll share my screen here. We've got first of all, before we go anywhere, Ship Your Car Now. You can go to shipyourcarnow.com. And I know also, Michelle, do you want to share that slide again with your contact information? I want to make sure that we get the information out because Michelle has taken the time out of her busy schedule to join us live and give this presentation, New Shipper Toolkit. So here is contact information. If you want to ask Michelle a question, there it is right there. I'm gonna go ahead and add it in the live chat. So we got Michelle Hutchinson, Ship Your Car Now, and specifically, what do? You're working every day? Do you work weekends too? What's going on?
Yeah. I always said that in our business, if you want to succeed, you got worse hours than a doctor. So I work every day. I'm available to my clients all the time. They'll tell you that. Granted, I do sleep. and during those sleeping hours, I'm not available, but I am. I'm available to folks 7 days a week, outside of normal hours. And what I do is I am in charge of strategic accounts for Ship Your Car Now. So I work with everyone in the private sector to dealers, auctions. I'm working with technology companies. I'm so excited about with our integrated software. But yeah, so you can reach me and honestly text me if you have a question. If you're a shipper, if you're a driver and you have a question, I'm happy to help you out as far as, answering something. And if I don't know it, I may know somebody that does for you. So I think we all just need to be in this business together and be here for one another.
Perfect. All right, cool. So I put the links in the live chat. Also, what I'm going to do here is go back to, so we've got the main web page. You go to shipyourcarnow.com, and that's where you can also receive a free quote. By the way, I am doing this. Here's the thing. This show, this is why when we kicked off properties, it is unfortunate. This whole thing is a public service. No money's exchanging hands. We're all here to help raise this industry. That's the whole point of all of this. 4 times a week to help this industry. So please don't kick us off your property when we're trying to help the industry. We don't understand why you would do that. Let's talk about NADA. NADA is coming up in March. National Automotive Dealers Association. What is that? Oh, show that. What is that?
This is my Las Vegas sign. It normally lights up, but I use it so much the batteries are dead. But we're so excited to be going. I'm super excited.
Awesome. All right, you're ready to go. Now, Ty, you're going to be at NADA too, right?
Yeah, the cool part is I think we just sold a ticket to KART because at first Michelle, I think she's like, I don't know if I'm going, but now I think you're excited, aren't you, Michelle?
I am. I definitely am going to, push
KART.
this and go to KART.
What's really great is Auto Transport Intel that serves this transportation connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers is actually going to have a panel at KART, which is a really big auction or a big conference for auto auctions. Wow. How amazing is that,
dude,
everybody?
We are, no,
yeah.
We are. Thank
Fuck
you
yeah.
so much. We are.
Hey!
We're gonna have an amazing panel. We're going to have an amazing booth at KART Conference. I put the link in the live chat. We haven't talked about it much because, honestly, there's a lot of pressure building to knock it out of the park, which I plan to do, but I just want to make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's. And I'll tell you what, you want to see something really cool, check this out, you guys. First of all, and I'll get there in a second, Tuesday night show was amazing. Jobs in car shipping. That was an awesome show. Lots of positions are open. Get the podcast. Check it out on the YouTube channel. Also, we got carriers on the move. More and more carriers are connecting with Ty in the transport parking lot, sending us their photos. Fast Eddie, Ants Transportation, John at LAI, Two Bears, who's also in the live chat today. Sheebner Trucking. That was last Friday? That was just in the past week. We got a QR code. If you scan this, you can subscribe without typing. You don't even have to use your fingers anymore to watch awesome. Auto Transport Intel. This is Ty yesterday at Manheim, Tampa. And there's a Hansen and Adkins truck, and then Ty was making new friends, and these are the guys. So they're connected to Denise, who at the beginning of today's show was on the phone. She'd seen Auto Transport Intel, learned about dispatching. Hey, did you see this photo, Ty? This was sent in.
No.
I know it's hard to see, but these are buckets that are marked either ACV backlot Manheim, backlot Manheim, Manheim backlot, and ACV. This is amazing. This was sent in to Auto Transport Intel. That's right. The channel that focuses on auto transportation now has fans at dealerships. Thank you so much. And here's what we're building up to. Oh, yeah, today was a new Shipper Toolkit with Michelle. She showed the new Shipper Toolkit. Now, here's what I got to do. I'm going to go ahead and roll. Here's the drum roll. We have an amazing show lined up for Tuesday night. And this is a first peek at Tuesday night show. NADA 2022 Economics 101. We have Jonathan Smoke, Alex Yurchenko, and John Cole
Jonathan
from ACD.
Smoke!
Jonathan Smoke's going to be on the show.
Oh! Hey, doesn't he work for Manheim?
Cox Automotive. He is the chief economist
that's
at
right.
Cox Automotive.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I was just being funny.
I know it is, and it was a good one.
He's lucky about Manheim.
Well, and that's where, hey, and that's the thing is that
See,
number
maybe they-
one is
maybe they
that
like
we
this.
really are about raising the industry, and we'll take our hits because I know we're a startup or whatever, but we will.
Startup
We
4
will be
years.
there. We will be there with the bigs. It's coming, and so so join us, be a part of it, say hello in the live chat, and let's celebrate this industry that we're helping, we're making our contribution. That's what we're doing. So I want to thank Michelle. Thank you so much for putting that presentation together. In fact, you've already volunteered. What are we doing? What April 8th? What are we doing on April 8th?
We are going to kind of flip the script on this show, and we're going to start providing some dealers out there with things that they need to know when shipping a car. You know, we've got so many dealer partners out there and so many dealers and salespeople that, you know, they're so good at selling cars, but when it comes to the transportation side, you know, I would love for them to just have a little bit more information so that they can, you know, set the expectations with their customers and sell that piece of it, because that's kind of the missing link when it comes to selling that car. You got to get it to them somehow, right?
There you go. No, and that's absolutely right. And so, you know, and we had a broker training question yesterday in the YouTube comments, because we were talking about broker training on Dispatching Live. And one of the comments was, why do you guys keep talking about buying leads when you talk about broker training? Because there is more to do in growing business as a broker. Now, I'm not looking for any secrets, but the point is there's still so much to talk about.
Yeah, there really is.
Great.
And for someone like me, you know, a lot of people ask me, like, where do you find your clients? And it's hard because, you know, after doing this for almost 20 years, I have a lot of the same clients. So for me, it's finding new ways to kind of rejuvenate and go out there and look for them. So I'm not always the best person to ask about cold calling and stuff because, yeah, I have
calling.
such established people.
Well, hey, in 2022, cold calling is wow, right? You got to do, that's why email marketing and whatnot. But trade shows, it brings us back to trade shows. That's why
Yes.
we're going to NADA. That's why we're going to Car Conference, to network live, to connect, grow, share, and build. And so thank you guys so much for helping make Cars on the Move an awesome addition to ATI. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thanks for the opportunity, both of you, for allowing me to come on here and share some information with folks and be a part of this. I'm truly blessed.
Thank you. That's awesome. We really appreciate that. And by the way, secret, everybody, we met Michelle at a trade show, and that's where we came up with this idea to have her on the show.
That's right.
The
That's
secret
right.
That's right.
Ideas were born.
Ideas are born at trade shows. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so very much. Ty, Hendrik, you guys, thank you.
Happy Friday.
Good job. Everybody have a great weekend. Call me if you need me.
Will do. Okay. Happy
Bye.
Friday. See you later. All right. And there's the end of the segment. It was awesome. It got intense there, too. And that's why, you know, Starship Enterprise, Captain's Log, you know, we got hit by an asteroid earlier in the show. But, you know, Candy says, let's get a press pass. Well, let's do that. Let's see if we can. Because I truly believe, I mean, let's look at some of the well-known folks in this industry now that 10, 15 years ago weren't so well-known and might have also gotten kicked off the lot. You know, I'm not going to name names, but yes, that doesn't need to happen, and we're not going to shine a light on it. We're not going to release a video series called "We Got Kicked Out of the Transport Parking Lot." No, we want to focus on growing this industry. People are just doing their jobs, and so let's try to go through means and channels as we need to. Repo Ryan's here. What is going on? Repo Ryan. Ryan was on the show. That was last month. That was a great show. I'll try and find the link to that. Danny, we are in this together. I know that. I have fun with "we are in this together" because it's lip service in many instances. But on this, we're in this together. You and I see you, you see me, we're in this together, and we're trying to do the right thing, and we're trying to educate, grow, raise the bar. That's what ATI, the Car Shipping Business Channel, is for. If you haven't already done so, please leave a like. Remember to share. Also, hey, I think I forgot this one too. You can go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, become an ATI insider. Let us know how we can help you. Don't forget that you can always send in the news, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Here comes one more. Don't forget, you can follow the podcast. It's fun, after you've put in a long day and you're relaxing, bring up the podcast. Actually, that's now how I absorb podcasts. Is I make a note, I'll take the link, I'll send it, email it to myself, and then when I finally have downtime, listen to a podcast, or maybe if I'm, cleaning up the office or whatever. So it's a really perfect time to do that. And I know if you're in trucking, which you probably are, when you're parked, or maybe while you're driving. Shoot, I don't know. Let me know how you absorb the content. That would be cool. Let me know. Odessa will win. All right, cool. We'll figure this out. And Will Morris, the car action coach, I think can help, right? Send us a lifeline. Let us know how we can help. And we had Carrie at Corey Auto Dealers Exchange. She was on last Friday. So there are still places in America's Auto Auction, Kansas City. Gosh, Ty's been live there so many. There are plenty of locations that are letting us in, and we just need to spread the good word and let everybody know we're really here to help. And maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe it's indicative of where we've been, because there's so much misunderstanding, hurt feelings, and angst that, of course, it's assumed that we're there to cause trouble. Right? Because this needs to be fixed, man. Right? I don't know. People, what happens if you walk into a shopping mall? Well, nobody does that anymore. But what happens if you walk into Subway? Go get a sandwich and you're making a TikTok. Do they kick you out? I don't know. Do they say, here's a free sandwich, make a great TikTok? I don't know. But whatever's happening now with the kicking out and the whatnot, let's try to fix that. Let's do better. Let's raise the bar. Everybody, thank you so much. I hope you have a warm, safe weekend. We appreciate you tuning in. Tell your friends. Thank you so much. It's ATI, the Car Shipping Business Channel. I'm Jay. Be sure to join us Tuesday night. That show is going to be awesome. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you all so much. Take care. See you soon.